I wanted to start off by sort of asking everyone to raise their hand. I was a little surprised to see how many people there were from different agencies versus sort of the public. How many people consider themselves, and I'll have two sort of camps, data consumers or data producers. So the camp first, who consider themselves consuming data sets on Data.gov. Okay, so building apps or using different data sets to build different technologies. And how many folks are sort of POCs or consider themselves data producers? They work with us and, okay, so it's about 50-50. Great. All right, this is great. I think we'll have a really engaging conversation. I'm just going to quickly go over a couple of the things that we're working on right now. So I think that the slides are actually a little different than what we had put in. But anyway, the first thing I wanted to mention is that we're listening to you. So this has been an event that has been a long time coming. For the last 6 months, we've really tried to just get an audience to be able to have a conversation with you guys about what things we're doing right, what things we're not doing right, that we can improve upon with Data.gov. And I think some of the conversations we've already had kind of leans towards a couple of things. One, fixing search. So Data.gov is a clearinghouse. It's the only place in the federal government that I know of that across different agencies you can search for different types of data sets. And so we've gotten initial feedback about this problem that we're referring to as fragmented search, where the quintessential example is Tiger. So if you type in Tiger into Data.gov or really geo.data.gov, you'll get back 331,000 results. That's clearly not very useful from a discovery standpoint. So we're working to try to fix some of those types of things. We're working towards improving geospatial data, metadata. There's a lot of data in the geospatial catalog. In fact, 99% of the data is geospatial. There's about 450,000 data sets, 445 roughly are geospatial. 331,000 are Tiger. But in any case, we're working to try to standardize some of this metadata, which for those of you who use that data, even the metadata itself, you'll notice that there's a wide variation, even simple fields, Dublin core type fields like agency, like description and title. And some of these things really need to be addressed moving forward if we want to be able to use these metadata in order to build better search. Along those lines, one of the things that we think is going to be important is sort of the stand-up of a site that is called vocab.data.gov. Essentially, this is a vocabulary publishing platform that we're hoping to be able to publish different vocabularies of data sets that are being used in the federal government. And one of the first things we'd like to do is actually create a machine-readable list of agencies. There does not exist at this point that kind of machine-readable list that we can use in our metadata template or set of templates to describe what is an agency and just the instances of an agency in a standardized way. Another thing that we're also working on at this point that we'd love to get feedback on and how best to approach this, especially for the data stewards who come to Data.gov at this point to post new data sets online, is automating the back end and the data pipeline, getting data onto Data.gov. I think there's been a lot of, at least the feedback we've received, there's been a lot of comments about, oh, it's just an extra thing that I want to do. We don't want to make it, we want to ease that, make that as simple as possible for you. We want it to integrate with your existing workflows. We know that certain agencies have very sophisticated, very mature processes around the publishing of data that kind of complies with regulations. And so we simply want to play off of that. We don't want to sort of have you go to do something extra. So in that sense, we're working towards automating that back end, federating from you guys, and working out standards in that way towards catalog interoperability. So there's a lot of talk. We can go into any of these types of things. I'm happy to discuss further. So the last thing I just kind of want to mention that we're working on that I think is important to point out is that we also have a working group to develop. Is this still on? No. That's okay. I'll speak loud. Is there? All right. that we have a working group right now to develop an API key management capability. And essentially, it's we're providing an identity sort of solution service for the creation, for the handing out of API keys. We're still in the early stages of trying to figure out what this is, but we want to sort of create somewhat of like a central proxy where to make it easier for developers, they don't have to have a single place or one of the a major place where you can come to consume APIs. So we would be a proxy behind or in front of different agencies. Agencies would kind of register with us. Developers would register once across all different kinds of APIs across different governments. And so this is just an exciting effort. We've got several different agencies already working with us that have already developed API key management stores and have developed APIs for consumption by developers. And so just be on the lookout. We'd love to hear your feedback about what types of things you want in kind of making APIs just a little bit easier to use. One of the things particular that I know for me as a developer is just having better documentation. So providing standardized ways for agencies to describe what APIs they have, the different parameters, the different fields, requests of their service is one of those things that we are looking at and trying to develop this initiative. So that's kind of an overview of some major things that we're working on right now and give you a sense to be able to ask questions and start a conversation about what things we're missing, what things we can do better. And so anyway, I'm going to hand it over to Andrew. He's got an exciting initiative